Namaste and welcome to class. And thank you so much for sitting with me with your undivided attention. This beautiful day here in Cartagena, the breeze of the summer is so fresh. Wish you were here to see this big ocean. So beautiful. And in today's class, I want to talk about where you come from. Have you asked yourself that? And how you can put that question in a context that is uplifting, in a context that is not only say, well, I come from my ancestors, I come from the legacy of all the different types of relationships that culturally I am, or human trajectory. I'm talking about what you really come from. What is the very core of your heart? What is that origin? And in that question, if you are a little bit elder or having your 50 or something, you can see certain parts of yourself that have never changed. That you may have many experiences in your life, some pleasant, some unpleasant, but it's something that have not changed. Something that have the quality of certain joy, of certain humility, of certain innocence, of certain curiosity, of certain enthusiasm, and that have never changed. That is, it may be opaque by your own ego and conversations and preoccupations of surviving and first and second chakra relationships kind of thing. But if we really sit for a moment and say, where I come from? And we see that when we put this in a context of the big matrix of existence itself, where what is the existence and how it is in relation to where we are now. We see that existence is only one thing, like one big mass of energy that is pulsating in love, that is pulsating in wisdom, and is pulsating in life. And that one thing have no point of reference of knowing itself. Right? You have no point of reference. It's like being alone in a dark room and you have no mirrors. You don't know that you exist or that what are your capabilities. When that existence decide in a thought, an imagination, what really I am, what are my capacities, how do I look like? And in that moment, immediately a counterpart appears. And it's the first moment where you have the polarity, where you have the positive charge and the negative charge. And we may think that, that is all in the pituitary third eye, the male and the female, the Ida and the Pingala. But it really, the existence is a trinity, and is not only the positive charge or the negative charge, but is a cohesiveness between these two poles. Is the neutral point. There is a neutral point that maintain these polarities at play, and it maintains this polarity together. That's why I say often, love is not a feeling. Love is a glue that put together all things in creation. And in that trinity, the positive, the negative, the life, the wisdom, and the love, you start a career, may say, of wanting to know yourself or, or giving the information to the source accordingly to your experiences, accordingly to what you see through your senses and through that Trinity, and return that information to the source and say, here you have the probability to be a tree, you have the probability of having this feeling, or you have the probability of born without a mother or born with a mother, or so much incarnations and worlds and universes are about the experiment of the one who wants to know itself in all areas, in the good, in the bad, in the violent, in the peace, in the light, in the form, you name it, is the diversity of creation. But you have one specific thought that say, I want to give the information of the source by this specific experience under certain frequency and qualities. And that first thought that you have, that initiation, is very much nourished as the first seed of your soul trajectory. You start a kind of a career of adventures and exploration. And that exploration, get back to the source and say, this is your capability. So knowing not only where you come from, because you come from the actual first thought that you have, is the first impulse that you do have. And that first impulse is so profoundly alive that is a flame in your heart. That is the flame that produces the desire to live, the desire to grow, the desire to explore, the desire to learn. And when we don't satisfy that desire, we are cutting our connection to the source. When we think that, oh, I should not experience this, or I should not take that decision, or this is painful, I'm not gonna do it, or this is wrong. Nothing is wrong in creation. Existence wants to know all its probabilities. So by asking ourselves where you come from, you are in front of that first thought, that first impulse, that first enthusiasm that we can say is the one that sends you out of the source and start in certain mission with certain charge and with certain curiosity. Now, in that movement, you create memories, and you create a jewel, a basket of jewels that belongs only to you, and belong not only to you, but belongs to the place that you are embodied in this moment. It's like when you have your feet, you are standing in one place, only in one place. Nobody else can stand in there. And that place have a charge, have a connection with earth or with the form, and it moves back and forth through your chakra system, all what is it that you need. And here is really where you come from. It gives you the abundance and the information that you need, right? Because if I come from the desire of being a teacher and represent knowledge, I will be standing in the places that produce the movement and the steps necessary for me to grow and mature under that first thought. That's why it's not necessarily of why you are here, but it's more of where you come from. Because anything that you were initiating yourself in there, naturally you will like to come back in there. So we have, of course, break the relation with the source through our judgments and through our isolations and through our ego and through our self-denials. But really, where you come from is always calling you. And it's calling you by you being home, by you being in the heart. The heart is so magnetic that it's constantly calling you towards your first thought. If that thought got polluted for some reason, you will get initiated in a series of lives that have that void of not being connected with the source. Because any judgment is like a scissor, it cuts. If you want to finish a relationship, judge. Oh, I don't like that. Poof, it's a scissor. It's a scissor and another scissor. And with that, then your soul experiences start being in a state of forgetfulness. You don't remember anymore where you come from. And if you don't remember what is your first thought, if you don't remember, you will not know how to return home. We need to know where you come from. What is that impulse? What is that thought? What is that enthusiasm? What is that simplicity, that humility that is always in your heart? So each of us come from different places, right? Have different frequencies, different desires of the one. It's like the one give you a message and say, you will tell me how is to be a teacher, and I'll send you into the countless possibilities of being a student, being a teacher, learning the good, learning the bad, being in pain, until all of the information and that particular frequency is deposited back in total acceptance in the present moment, in the place you locate, and with the quiet resonance of peace that you know you and existence are one. Thank you very much for sitting with me, and I will see you in our next class. Namaste.